Hey, how you doing guys? ZDEyE here. So today I wanted to go over some of the, well, pretty much, I would even say confirmed at this point. Basically, if you guys did not know, Far Cry 6 has been leaked. Basically, it will be coming out on the 18th of February 2021. To be honest with you, I already was expecting this game to come out, and as well as coming out next year. And yeah, it seems like that is going to be coming into the fruition. And one of the big actors is actually going to be making a kind of little bit of a surprising role, and I really somewhat did not expect. His name is, I'm gonna butcher this name, damn, Giancarlo Esposito. He was actually making an appearance such as like The Breaking Bad and also The Mandalorian. Fantastic shows, by the way. I highly recommend you to check them out. I love those shows. And yes, he even mentioned that he was working on a huge video game, but he could not say which one. But because of the leak that has surfaced on the PlayStation Store, mind you, that's where it comes from, we got a clear image of the Far Cry 6 of him simply. But yes, this also included the release date, the description. So yes, pre-order now to get a state-of-the-art Discos, Locos weapons and a skin for Chorizo. Upgrade to the PlayStation 5 version. The digital Far Cry 6 PlayStation 4 game gives access to the corresponding Far Cry 6 PlayStation 5 digital version at no additional cost when available. Requires a PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 5 digital edition, as we already know that they both have been confirmed and showcased. A PlayStation Network is with the registration, additional storage, and a broadband internet connection. May incur bandwidth usage fees. Okay, pre-order now to get state-of-the-art Discos Locus weapons at the skin for the Chorizo. For some reason that kind of repeats itself. But yes, now this is the interesting part. It kind of mentions the like the description of what we're going to be getting ourselves into. Welcome to Yara, a tropical paradise frozen in time. As the dictator of Yara, Anton Castillo is intent on restoring his nation back to its former glory by any means, with his son, Diego, following in his bloody footsteps. Their ruthless oppression has ignited a revolution. So yes, it was actually, so as I understand, the actor seems like is going to be playing a role as Anton Castillo, and he's actually was kind of had his hands on his son right in front of him. His name is Diego. I assume Diego Castillo. And okay, so fight for the freedom as it mentions right after. Play as Danny Rojas, a local Yaran, and become a guerrilla fighter to liberate the nation. Yara torn apart. Fight against Anton's troops in the largest Far Cry playground to date across the jungles, beaches, and the Esperanza, the capital city of Yara. Guerrilla firepower, employ makeshift weapons, vehicles, and amigos, well, amigos is friends in Spanish, the new fangs for hire to burn the tyrannical regime to the ground. By the way, guys, again, my first language is not, it's obviously not English. Yes, so this is actually regarding of a multiplayer that it will be also supporting up to 2 players, it seems like, and a paid for the PlayStation Plus membership is required. Online features require an account and are subject to our terms of service. They just basically everything after that just mentions like what we can expect from the video games in general. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that has been showcased right before the Ubisoft show that will be happening, the Ubisoft Forward in July 12th, in just a few days. But, you know, maybe it's a necessary thing, but still, this is going to be interesting. And, you know, what kind of differences would there be from Far Cry 5 to Far Cry 6? Will it be RPG based, like the New Dawn has been portrayed as? I kind of don't want that. Please, no more RPG stuff in the Far Cry games. It just does not make much sense, and it doesn't really work either. But if you do, you know, go with the RPG route, you know, it has to be far more fleshed out than initially. It's actually also interesting because, man, his name is so difficult to pronounce. Giancarlo Esposito. Basically, he mentions that regarding of the acting and kind of necessity on the video games, since the epidemic has happened as of recently. well, he mentions that there was a new way of how they could actually be role-playing in a video game. And now, you can't exactly be in a motion capture suits and being in a video game as an example. Maybe he could have done from home or something like that. You know, it would be very interesting to see how they managed to pull this through. How, like, what would there be of differences, of course. Since the game is coming out pretty much in February, and yes, you can actually get it on PlayStation 4, just like I already have read it, and you get a free upgrade for the PlayStation 5. You can assume the same thing will be for the Xbox, and but again, you know, if you already have a PlayStation 5, just simply get the game on the PlayStation 5. It's actually... This is interesting. This is actually, I personally think it's interesting. Basically, if you guys already know that there's a big chance that a lot of the games, and pretty much all of the games, are gonna increase in the price, up to $10 extra. So if you want to pick up a brand new game, you may have to pay now $70 instead of $60. In euros, it was already $70. I don't know if they will increase the price on that range too. Will it go to $80 or will it stay the same? Because, like, you know, America should actually get their increase in the prices, but Europe, I don't think they should, because we're already paying more money for the games instead of America, as an example. And yet the currency is lower in dollars too. American dollars, not the Australian dollars. I know Australian dollars is ridiculous price range. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. But yes, basically, would it make much sense, you know, for us to be picking up the game on a PlayStation 5 first, because you're gonna have to pay extra? Since basically you could just simply buy the game on a PlayStation 4 and kind of you know, like transition it into the PlayStation 5. Wouldn't that be a cheaper option? But again, yet the increase in the prices does not mean it's a guarantee. Because, like, the upgrading system that gives you for the PlayStation 5, you know, from PlayStation 4, Xbox One to the Xbox Series X, it's free. So is there really a price increase that's going to be happening now? I just don't see it. The only thing that we are getting this, you know, news and the reports is because of the NBA game. That basically, if you want to pick up the game on the next gen console, you will have to pay extra bucks on top, no matter what, of course. Unless, of course, if you want to make an upgrade, then you're gonna have to go for, like, what is that, deluxe edition or some sort that costs up to $100. But that will be the same price then. It's insane. I personally think that's just an NBA thing. I don't believe it's actually every video game is going to be increased in the price. Personally, to be honest with you, I would rather pay extra for the game that does not support greedy microtransactions. And also, we have to understand, what will it be justified for an increase in the price of the games? As an example, let's give you an example. Red Dead Redemption 2, do you guys believe that that game should be worth up to $60 to $70? Do you really believe that? In such a high scale of a AAA games that, you know, the developers go through, amount of time that they need to put through, you know, into the video games, is it really a good idea of actually putting so much time and effort into these video games that they don't increase in the price either? Because we have not really truly seen a price increase more than a decade at this point. So a lot of people don't expect to see a price increase even now when the PlayStation 5 and the Series X do come. So, you know, why do we need to wait for that? You know what I mean? Basically, maybe I do believe in the future we will see definite and a price increase, but some reason for somehow not this gen, not the next gen, not the PlayStation 5 era, not the Series X era. I personally believe we may have to even wait even longer than that until the full price increase will be happening. Because again, remember when I said Red Dead Redemption 2, is it really worth the $60? It really isn't. The game is far more worth than that. The game is so giant in scope. God of War is giant in scope with the quality and the AAA standards, you know. And then you see these other devs and publishers that are increasing the price for a full game. For like an example, what was that called? Resident Evil 3 Remake. Do you believe that that game deserves a $60 price tag? That game is more of a category up to 30 to 40, but yet it's been increased with the price up to 60. You know, that's not worth it. At least not to me, and I don't believe any of you guys either. Anthem is an example. Buggy mess, beautiful game though, but buggy mess. Is that really worth the 60 price tag? You know, dollars? I don't believe so. So you know, we have to understand maybe AAA standards of the games, but yet you know we have to understand how big and how long are the games. This is why there's so many talks and conversations going on that AAA games need to be shorter in the games. And like maybe as an example, a Plague Tale Innocence, right? That game is, I believe, it's a $40 game, but the length of the campaign is up to 10 to 15 hours. So is that what we want? Personally, for me, I would rather much see up to 30 hours length games and pay full price for it. Like The Last of Us Part 2 is almost a 30 hours campaign. Personally, for me, it took me only 23 hours to complete, but yet God of War was in a similar caliber of the length of the campaign I'm talking about specifically. I personally think that just justifies the $60 price tag in my opinion. Again, I'm in Europe, it's a different price tag, of course. And you know, currencies are all different. The region is also different, and does matter. And I personally think dollars need to be increased in the video games. Euros need to stay the same because they have been already increased quite a time ago already. Australian dollars, I don't know. I don't know about their currency, but I feel like they need to stay the same as they were, because like it's already a giant price that the Australians that need to pay for them. Japan also pays a lot of money for the video games too, like brand new video games I'm talking about specifically. I think they should stay the same. America should increase the price because like, maybe it's not exactly fair to do that. You know what I mean? But that's just an opinion, guys. Again, don't take it a whole thing into consideration. Don't take this as a proof fact that what I'm talking about is just, it's a needed to be done thing, so to say. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna let you go now. Wow, I rambled, and I feel like I was supposed to only make a commentary about the Far Cry 6, but now I feel like I, for some reason, talked a little bit about everything. Maybe that was not a necessary thing to do either. Anyway, hopefully it was at least a somewhat interesting conversation to hear about. Thank you so much for watching, like and subscribe. See you guys all later, and as always, have a wonderful day.